Hi there, this is Diecast channel, and in this video we're going to do a review on this 1970 AMC Rebel Machine made by American Modders, and it's got a pretty unique story in my collection. So let's unbox it and take a better look at this car. And don't forget to subscribe in case you haven't subscribed yet, to give me a thumbs up, share this video, and click a thumb for news. So let's unbox this car and take a better look at it. Rebel was a line of cars made by American Modders back in the end of 1960s and 1970s. This car was succeeded by the Matador later in 1971, a muscle car of a Rebel line that was the machine. That's the case of this car. This car counted on a 390 cubic inch V8 engine with which produced 340 horsepower. Rebel had a motorcraft 4-barrel carburetor that gave it a lot more performance. Transmission was a 4-speed on the floor with a Hurst shifter. The hood scoop was first made in fiberglass and then injection material. It also had a hood-mounted tack, just like it happened to a Buick GSX, Pontiac GTO to Judge, and also a Pontiac Firebird. The machine was not the only car to have this hood tack. This particular model car has a unique story. It's a sort of a tragical but also funny story. I've got this as a gift from my wife, and when he got home from the store, I felt that the carton box had something rattling inside, and when I opened that, I faced the model box with the car completely loose inside, with only the front wheels on, but the rear wheels were all loose, were all away from the car, and the rear axle was broken to 3 pieces. The base was also broken in several pieces. It broke at the very place where there are threads for the screws that mount this car to the plastic base that comes in the box. I got in contact with a seller, and the seller offered me to send this car back and he will send me a new one. But since I was looking for a different model car he also had available for sale, I decided to get another one, and he gave me a very good discount, so this car was cheap really. I took those broken parts apart. I glued them back together with super glue, and I also used some screws underneath the wheels and attached the rear tires to the rear axle. The rear left tire was a little bit crooked, but almost negligible really. And I put them back together so now they can spin just like they originally did, and they do it marvelously with the screws, and they won't come out since the screws were attached very well to the axle. At the same time, the screw was a sort of a reinforcement to the axle since it was quite long. And I put the axle back to the car, and the springs hadn't been broken, fortunately, and the base could be glued back together to its place, and the car could be attached back to its base in a box. This car has traveled again when I moved to this house, and I had no problems at all. And now I can handle it, and I'm glad to have this car since I really enjoy this model car. Looking at the car from the side, we can understand why this car was named a Rebel Machine. Its styling looks quite Rebel really. When we look from front to rear, it looks like we're going to have an AMC Ambassador, and then suddenly it changes style with this fastback version and with the back window. That makes it look somewhat revolutionary at the time. But at the same time, it's revolutionary but not ugly, just like it happened to the Gremlin and the Pacer. It's a very nice looking car really, and this type of style kind of reminds what happened to the 1966 Dodge Charger and the Rambler Marlin when several performance cars had fastback bodies. The only issue about the machine is it is said to be a late muscle car. It came kind of late too. Speaking of the model, the quality of the car is very good. The painting quality is good. The machine sticker on the fender looks very nice. The turning lights on the tip of the fenders, the front fender and the rear quarter panel, look also very nice. They are painted on, but they are not Really, they do not lack realism, and the bumpers have a very good chrome quality. The wheels and tires look good. The wheels look like those steel chrome wheels, just like it happened to the Mercury Comet in 1966. And the door handle is a piece of chrome plastic that's glued to the door instead of being cast in metal. The chrome around the windows, the trim, is made with painted. It's cast in metal and painted on, but it looks very good. And the windshield and the back window have real chrome trims. By looking at the front of this car, we notice it's a real Rebel car. It looks Rebel, and it looks very nice. This front reminds a little bit of the Mopar cars of a time. Some people sometimes mistake American Motors cars for Mopars, although Mopar was not in control of American Motors at this time in the beginning of the 1970s. The car really looks very aggressive, and its color, this flat black stripe on the hood with the silver pinstripes, look very nice. This hood scoop is actually a hood scoop, which is open. The grille is not actually a grille, but a very well simulated mesh and painted flat black in the chrome. And the chrome has a very good quality, just like the bumper guards, and the turning lights. The headlights are very realistic. They've got those pigs here, but those pigs could be easily mistaken for the light bulbs, so it's not really an issue. The antenna is retracted. Very interesting feature of this car is this hood tack, just like it happened in the Buick GSX, Pontiac Firebird, Pontiac GTO, the Judge, and some other cars. The engine bay is very well made. It's made in plastic. We have the brake master cylinder, the air filter, the engine that was made in blue, just like the American Motors engines are supposed to be. Spark plug cables and wires, battery, a radiator and radiator cap. They're all very well reproduced. The car from inside with a very nice dashboard with a horizontal speedo, just like we find in different American cars of the time. The steering wheel that was not only present in the Machine, but also in the AMX and some other American Motors cars at the time. I personally don't like really this steering wheel design. I think this wheel is kind of ugly. I would like to have a 3-spoke steering wheel in this car, just like it happened to Chevelles and Dodges. But that's okay. It's part of the car. It's going to stay there just the way it is. The dashboard, and not just the cluster, the instruments cluster, but the dashboard as a whole, has this pattern that simulates brushed aluminum and looks very nice. It's painted on, and instruments and gauges are all made with decals. It looks good the way it is. The car inside is all made in black plastic with the carpet texture. Front seats do not tilt, just like we find in some different brands, but the doors open correctly, just like in the real cars, with those smaller hinges, which is a very nice feature for this model car that would be from budget to intermediate. The mirror is in the correct proportion, and it looks really very realistic. And the vent window that's attached to the door really looks very nice. Window transparency is also very good. One more look at the interior. Gear lever on the floor without a central console, as it happened to several muscle cars at the time, and a Machine logo right here in the glove compartment lid. There's no headliner. The rear of the car looks also Rebel. The bumper that goes all the way up here with this rear panel, the Rebel logo, and the taillights are made in acrylic with the chrome trim. The Machine here is put as a decal on the trunk lid, and the trunk lock is cast in metal and painted on. The trunk lid does not open, but it's very well represented here. This left wheel looks a little crooked due to that issue that happened during shipment of this model car. The dual exhaust looks very nice, and the bumper guards are also very realistic. It's a very attractive car, and this model car has surprised me positively. Looking at the base, we can notice first the damage that happened when that issue happened due to shipment, and repairs I've made with super glue. So we have some glue marks here that I intend to remove with some painting in a close future, as soon as I have an opportunity to do that, since I have some more cars waiting in line for restoration. But fortunately, I could manage to repair this and make those wheels spinnable just like they originally were. The front wheels steer correctly. The front and rear suspensions are originally fixed, so this is not a big issue at all. And the other details in this base here. Engine and tranny are cast in plastic in this plastic piece, so perhaps it would be interesting to remove this axle and mask here with a masking tape and do some painting here just to make them look more realistic. This is a quite easy thing to do. The mufflers seem to be pretty much correct in the correct color. The front and rear axles look good. Wheels and tires look good. And there's a unibody so we can see the front subframe and the rest of the body of the car. So this car has pretty much like the Chrysler cars at the time that adopted the unibody as a type of construction. Some conceptions in the American Motors cars really have the mobile parts. Ranking this car from 0 to 10, I would give it a 9, and a solid one, really. I think this car really deserves a very good grade since it's a very nice model car. I'm just sorry trunk lid doesn't open. It would be very nice to have an open trunk lid and a trunk with details and spare tire and all that stuff and so on. Anyway, nothing's really perfect. And this car is from budget to intermediate, so you can't really expect much from it, just like you would expect from a Neuro Authentics or Highway 61, GMP, CMC, and Acme or something like it. Anyway, it's a very nice model car to have in a collection, and if you like muscle cars, this is a car you can't miss. So I'd like to thank you for all likes and views. Please don't forget to subscribe in case you haven't subscribed yet. And also, let me know down in your comments what you think about the car and about the video. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.